Welcome to Buddha's Way. This is the story of a man who chose to be good, even when life gave him every reason not to be. A story of pain, betrayal, patience, and the silent power of light. Sit back, breathe, and travel with us into the soul of the one who suffered silently, but left behind the loudest echo of goodness. Aryan was not born lucky. The day he entered this world, thunder shook the skies, and his mother took her last breath. His father, broken and bitter, never forgave him. He was raised in silence, fed in anger, and educated by struggle. While other children played, Aryan collected firewood, cooked for his father, and wiped his own tears. But there was something different about him. He didn't become bitter. He became kind. Even as a child, he shared his food with dogs, gave his blanket to beggars, and spoke with a calmness that didn't belong to his age. The villagers often said, "He's not just a boy. He's a soul the world doesn't understand." But kindness, in a world that's hungry for power, often becomes a curse. When Aryan turned 18, he left his home to serve in the nearest ashram. He worked from dawn to dusk, cleaning toilets, feeding the sick, lifting the old, without ever asking for a coin. But while he served everyone with love, people started taking advantage. They gave him the hardest work, blamed him when things went wrong, and praised others for what he had done. One day, a jealous monk accused him of theft. Aryan didn't steal, but no one defended him. He was thrown out of the ashram in the middle of a rainstorm with nothing but a torn shawl and a broken heart. He stood outside the gates all night, soaked and silent. He didn't curse. He didn't beg. He simply whispered, "If I suffer for doing right, then let me suffer fully. But I will never do wrong." Years passed. Aryan walked from village to village, helping the sick, healing the wounded, guiding the lost. He never settled anywhere, never asked for anything, never demanded respect. People saw him, used him, praised him, and forgot him. Yet he continued. But the world has a strange way of testing good people again and again. One day, while crossing a mountain path, he found a bleeding man lying in the mud. Aryan tore his robe, tied the wounds, and carried the man on his back for 3 days to the nearest village. But as fate would have it, the man's family blamed Aryan for the injuries. They thought he was the attacker. Without asking, they beat him, dragged him, and threw stones. Aryan could have shouted, he could have fought, but he didn't. He sat there bleeding from the head and whispered, "Truth does not scream. It survives." Slowly, the truth came out. The man woke up and revealed Aryan's kindness. The same villagers who beat him now fell at his feet. But Aryan didn't stay. He walked on. Because he was not doing good for applause. He was doing it because it was who he was. One cold night, he reached a dying village where children were starving, the water was poisoned, and people were drowning in despair. Aryan stayed. He dug wells, planted trees, built schools, taught children, and healed families. Slowly, that dying village turned into a living garden. But again, no statue was built in his name. No songs were sung for his sacrifice. Instead, new leaders came and claimed credit. They took control, threw Aryan out, and said, "You're not needed anymore." This time, he didn't say a word. He looked at the blossoming children, the green trees, the flowing wells, and smiled. Because the candle does not ask who takes credit for the light. It only burns to keep others from darkness. Years later, when Aryan lay on his deathbed under a tree, a little boy came running. It was one of the children he had taught long ago. The boy held Aryan's hand and said, "You may be leaving us, but your light is staying forever." And in that final moment, Aryan whispered, "Let them forget me, but let them remember kindness." He closed his eyes, and the winds stood still to bow. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.